I'm Kim Alexander, and I'm here to nominate an employee of Warren for the 2013 Spirit of Service Award. Under the category of care, this person is very unique, not only at the time they spend at Warren, but also what they do in their personal life. The caring that they put in to all of the people that they meet every day, whether it's the department they work with or what you hear they do for their family life. This person is an exception in that area. Some examples of caring for this person. This person really gets to know staff. Visits with staff all the time, goes out, meets the staff in the facility that this person is in, gets to know them on a personal level, also leaves her area often to make sure that maybe there's not something that she can do. She's always the first one to ask, always the first one to step in and get it done. Just definitely get it done. But more in the area of caring, it's just how she does it and the way that she's cooked meals for staff, shopped for staff, stayed an extra 15 minutes. The other day was on her way to a lunch appointment, came back into the credit union, found that something was going on in the branch and took care of it. This is not a branch employee, by the way, so took care of it, made sure that both the member and the staff person was okay, came running back through to let everybody know that she hadn't left for lunch but was still leaving now. She had to take care of some members and some staff. So very careless, caring and selfless in the way that she acts and the way she takes care every day. She's very selfless. She always finishes a project for someone. She stays late, getting projects done for other people, not just for herself. During times of big projects, I've seen her, the caring part is even though she's really busy and got a huge project and late deadlines and immediate things that have to be done, if someone comes to her desk, she cares about them enough to say, oh, I have plenty of time. You never see that stress. So I think that's a big caring thing. Another thing is getting to know people. This person in particular works with the board of directors sometimes and has taken it upon herself to care about each of them individually. She's gotten to know them. She understands them to the point where certain special requests of board members, she goes out of her way to make sure that once a year when a birthday comes around, this board member doesn't want an Albertsons cake. They want a homemade cake by her with special ingredients. And most people might say, really? It's a birthday cake at a board meeting. She makes sure that this board member gets his special cake every year. So, let's see. Other areas where she cares and with a positive attitude, always seeking out to be helpful, constantly offering member assistance, even though she's not a frontline employee, not afraid to jump in, talk to members in line, see if she knows enough, maybe she could redirect somebody from standing in line too long. She covers the reception desk all the time, runs errands, helps plan events, even events that really aren't maybe in her direct area, but if there's a need and something going on even out in the front, she's there. A good example of ordering supplies. She's not a supply, not like an admin supply type of person, but a branch had run out of toner, and she knew how important that was for the branch, that if they didn't have toner that day, there was no other toner around. She drove, it took over an hour to get there and get back, to go to the merchant herself to get toner because she knew that those people couldn't get away and she could, and that's what they needed. So, very caring individual, both with staff and with her family. One area of sharing and working with staff a lot, even beyond what she's assigned maybe by job description to do, is making travel arrangements for all staff in the credit union. Originally, this person was assigned to help the executive team make sure that they could get their traveling ordered on the way they want it, individualized, and she's so caring and she shares so much energy with that. Now, over time, she's taken on pretty much travel arrangements for any staff who travels, but she goes the extra step. For instance, what she does for the staff that travels is not only is this about an employee traveling. This is about an employee who's now going to be away from their family, and their family, may not be familiar with why they're going or where they're going or what they're going to be doing while they're there. Puts together a family packet. Whenever an employee travels out of town, she puts together a briefer version of what she gives the employee so that they can take it home, and while that employee is gone, their family can, oh yeah, well, they're staying at this hotel, or today they're doing this, or I'm not going to call right now because the agenda says she's at a dinner or something. So you just felt it was important that traveling for an employee is as impactful on their family as them. So I think that's an excellent example of her ability to help with that. Another area I commented under sharing for this person was personal time that she spends on projects outside of work. She's really busy at work, but this person, if we have a project going on, she's very involved in a lot of our community events. And if we need, let's say, donations, or if we need items for an event, never asks other people to help her. She's always out there running around tons of hours on her own of an evening. She'll be out traveling around from merchant to merchant, getting donations, making sure that as she knows that different charities are coming in all the time asking for auction items, things like that, wants to be there and wants us to be able to meet everybody's needs in town. As a credit union, she's just looking out for us. So anytime she has an opportunity to pick up an item that might work to offer a charity for a donation for an auction item, she's doing that on her own. She'll jump in for everything. The Zombie Fest, Coats for Kids, the Northern Colorado Flood Victims project that we did, the Food Pantry, CASA, the Southeast Wyoming Youth Center. Things that maybe the credit union doesn't get everybody involved with, but because she's so touched with the community actions that we do, she prepares flyers, she helps organize those events. She's even gone out of her way to organize a personal event that all of the money that was earned at a personal event went towards one of our charities. One thing she did on her own, two things, not her function at all, nor does she want to be in that line, but she went to teller training on her own because she wanted to understand what the basic functions of the teller group were and how she could help. So she went through that training and tried to gain an understanding of how she can be helpful in the lines, what the tellers can and can't do, things like that. And then she also asked to be a notary on her own. So she's not in a frontline position. However, she always steps out to make sure that she can help be a notary and sit with a member. I've seen her sit with members. They come in for a notary, and 45 minutes later, got a list of to-dos, and then she takes it and she runs around and makes sure that any question or concern that member had, she's getting an answer for them, and she's really good about follow-up. No job is too big or small for this person. She just, it doesn't matter. She's ordered lunch in the last minute, too short of notice, and this is what's so nice is you don't get that, really, you couldn't have thought to ask me to do that 3 hours ago, you need it in 15 minutes. Never shows that sort of maybe impatientness or disappointness in another staff member's lack of timing. So, awesome. Be fair. This person has a personality that's all about satisfying the member. She's been in my office many times about member situations. I mentioned this just a little bit ago as well. Oh yeah, I totally mentioned all this. Anyway, so be fair. It's kind of summarized in some of the things I've said before as far as helping the member, following up, making sure that if there's any way, she'll go above and beyond. She doesn't just give a member the standard answer, no, we don't do that. If she thinks it's important to that member and it makes sense, then she will come and ask, and she'll go around and ask the right people until she's positive there's no way we can help that member. Be there is another area that this person just has a lot of pride in Warren. In everything they do, their actions, their attitude is all about promoting Warren and making sure that Warren is successful and is an organization that just not only employees and members but also the community really appreciates. Her pride is exemplified by her commitment to her job and making sure that Warren is always the best in everything that she does in her eyes. A great example is this person has, over time, and it's interesting, that's a long story I won't talk about, but become like the main and almost the only driver of the United Way golf tournament for the credit union. In the beginning there was a larger group, and just over time people get really busy and focus of who's running it. This person has never said, hey, it's getting a little thin. 100% make sure that that tournament gets done. And this isn't just a little tournament. It's one of the largest tournaments in Cheyenne. And I think we end up donating over $10,000, $14,000, $15,000 a year to the United Way. And it's all because of her success. Starting the day after the tournament's over, she's the one that makes sure that the winners of the tournament and any people who had concerns, all going into making sure that she's ready with new flyers, making sure that she's going out on her personal time most of the time and getting donated items, making sure that the auction is a success, and then following up with all the people who have been there. And she's really aware, so as some of the people she works with maybe is working with a new vendor, or she hears them talking about somebody that they're working with, she's like, hey, would they like to be a sponsor? So she's just always forcing and trying to make sure that that is more and more successful every year. And then when it moved to the base golf course, it added a kink, because not everybody's allowed to get on the base, and the extra work she has to put in to coordinate getting people's driver's license and everything they need to get on. She does all of that herself. Now she has a great volunteer group that comes the day of, but everything has to be ready that morning or it still won't be successful. And because of this person, I think that is a very successful project every year. Square. This person's not square, but she comes in every day with a smile and a positive attitude. She's always ready to help and seeks opportunity to jump in. Jumps right into projects and takes the lead on them, makes sure they get done. For instance, the Easter Bunny and Chick, she's been driving those around, making sure that we have someone. She was a big coordinator of the Harlem Shake Dance, if everyone remembers that. Halloween decorating, it's not like she just focuses on decorating in the department or helping get costumes ready for the department she works in, but she's really aware that it's bigger than just her department, and it's all about the whole branch and facility, and Halloween is a big celebration for Warren, so she makes sure that the facility she's in also has appropriate decorations and celebration for that day. Coffee days for the members. She purchases all the goodies, probably too many times with her own funds. Meeting members when there are long lines, talked about that. She's picked up with the HR group's Friday Fund Wagon, which was, I think, started at Yellowstone, but she's helped make that a bit of initiative at 7th Avenue as well, whether asked to help or not. All employee meetings, she's always there early, and even if she's not on that team, but she makes sure that she's there early because she knows an event's going on and that they might need help. That's the primary issue. The selflessness of this person is pretty apparent if you sit back and reflect on the fact that she immerses herself in all events, never just goes to relax and enjoy. So watch this person someday at any event. They don't go to just, hey, I'm just an attendee at this event. Never a case for this person. They're always up helping, whether they're a part of the actual organized group or not. She just wants to make sure that others are always having a good time. Very selfless person. Just writing this makes me feel guilty that I enjoy our events so much, and this person is always the worker.